There is a storm raging all around you. It is a hurricane of information, a relentless assault on your senses. Every screen you look at, every notification that chimes, pulls you into its vortex. Buy this stock, sell that one. The market is crashing. This is the next big thing. You are missing out. This is the chaos of modern finance, a deafening noise designed to create confusion, to spark anxiety, and to push you into making hasty, emotional decisions. You are drowning in a sea of conflicting advice, your own inner voice of reason completely overwhelmed by the roar of the crowd. In this state of sensory overload, how can anyone possibly make a wise decision? You feel a constant pressure to act. Yet you are paralyzed by the sheer volume of information. Every choice feels like a gamble, and the fear of making the wrong one is immense. This confusion is not an accident. It is a feature of the system. A confused mind is an easy one to manipulate. It is a mind that will chase fleeting trends, fall for get-rich-quick schemes, and panic at the first sign of trouble. The storm benefits everyone but you, the individual investor trying to find a safe harbor. But what if you could find the eye of the storm? What if, amidst the howling winds of market speculation and the thunderous crashes of financial news, you could access a place of profound inner silence? This is the promise of financial stoicism. It is not another complex strategy to add to the noise. It is a method of subtraction, a way to filter out the chaos so you can finally hear yourself think. It is the practice of building an unbreakable inner calm and a crystal-clear vision of your goals, using the timeless wisdom of the ancient Stoics as your unwavering guide. Before we embark on this journey to clarity, please consider helping our mission. A simple click on the like button and a subscription to our channel allows this message of calm to reach others who are lost in the financial storm. In a world that profits from noise and confusion, your support helps us create a quiet space where wisdom can flourish. You are not just boosting a video, you are helping to build a community dedicated to thoughtful, serene, and powerful financial living. We are deeply grateful for your partnership in this vital work. Let us paint a portrait of the person many of us have become in this environment. We will call him the financial drifter. He has no fixed destination, no reliable compass. His direction is dictated by the last piece of advice he heard, the latest headline he read, the most compelling story he saw on social media. One day he is a day trader, the next a long-term investor. One week, he is all in on tech stocks. The next, he is chasing crypto. He is adrift on the vast ocean of financial information, tossed about by every wave, a passenger on his own journey, never the captain. The financial drifter is constantly listening to the so-called gurus and pundits. He flips from one financial news channel to another, hearing one expert declare that a market collapse is imminent, while another on a different channel proclaims the dawn of a new bull market. The certitude with which they speak is intoxicating, yet their advice is a web of contradictions. He is caught in the middle, his mind a battlefield for their opposing views. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus warned, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." The drifter cannot bear this. He wants the smart opinion, not realizing it doesn't exist. This external search for answers leads him directly into the gilded trap of social media. Here, the noise is not just contradictory, it is deliberately deceptive. He sees curated images of impossible wealth, teenagers leasing supercars, influencers on private jets, all attributed to some obscure cryptocurrency or a risky options strategy. This spectacle is engineered to bypass his rational mind and target his deepest insecurities and desires. It creates a gnawing sense of envy and a powerful fear of missing out, a feeling that everyone else is getting rich while he is being left behind. He doesn't see the thousands who lost everything following the same advice. He only sees the one apparent winner, whose success is likely exaggerated or entirely fabricated. This curated reality becomes his benchmark for success, poisoning his ability to appreciate his own steady progress. The Stoic seeks to desire what is truly good, virtue, tranquility, wisdom, but the drifter is conditioned to desire what merely looks good, the car, the watch, the vacation. He is chasing an illusion, and the price of admission is often his life's savings, sacrificed on the altar of envy. Then there is the ceaseless torrent of the 24/7 news cycle, an engine designed to produce anxiety. The headlines are always dramatic, always urgent. Inflation is soaring, a new geopolitical crisis is brewing, a recession is just around the corner. This constant stream of negativity keeps the financial drifter in a perpetual state of high alert, his nervous system frayed. He feels that he must react to every piece of news, that every global event has a direct and immediate impact on his personal financial safety. The world feels unstable, and so does his future. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire rife with war, plague, and political turmoil, constantly reminded himself to distinguish between the event and his opinion of the event. Today, I escaped from anxiety. Or no, I discarded it because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. The drifter has not learned this lesson. He believes his anxiety is a rational response to the news. He doesn't see that the news is just information. The anxiety is his own creation, a story he tells himself about what that information means for him. This fire hose of information creates the illusion that finance is impossibly complex. The industry uses jargon and convoluted charts to suggest that only the most brilliant minds can comprehend it. This intellectual intimidation keeps the financial drifter feeling inadequate, believing he has no choice but to trust the experts who create the very noise that confuses him. He feels he needs their complex products and their expensive advice to navigate the world they have made so bewildering. He has sold the disease and the cure in the same package. But the Stoic path is one of simplicity. It teaches that the most powerful truths are the most fundamental. The principles of living below your means, investing consistently over the long term, and managing your own emotions are not complex. They are simple, but they are not easy. They require discipline and character, which is why they are so often ignored in favor of complex, exciting, and ultimately ineffective strategies. The drifter seeks a secret formula, while the Stoic knows the secret is that there is no secret, only principles. The end result of this immersion in chaos is twofold. First, there is paralysis. The drifter is so overwhelmed by choice and conflicting information that he does nothing. His money sits in a low-yield savings account, eaten away by inflation, because the fear of making a wrong move is greater than the desire to make a right one. He is stuck in indecision, waiting for a moment of perfect clarity that will never come. His potential for growth withers on the vine of his own confusion. The second outcome is frantic, emotional action. A wave of FOMO will finally push him to buy a hyped stock at its absolute peak. A wave of fear, driven by scary headlines, will cause him to sell his sound investments at the bottom of a market correction. His actions are not guided by a coherent plan, but are spasmodic reactions to the loudest noise of the moment. He is always one step behind, buying high and selling low, the classic recipe for financial failure. He lacks clarity, and therefore all his efforts are in vain. But this is not a permanent condition. It is a fog that can be lifted. The practice of financial stoicism is the process of building your own lighthouse, a beacon of inner clarity that cuts through the thickest fog of external chaos. This is not done by learning more, but by unbecoming, by stripping away the layers of noise to reveal the simple truth within. This is achieved through specific, practical mental exercises or meditations that the Stoics use to cultivate their legendary calm and clarity. The first and perhaps most transformative of these meditations is what the Stoics called the view from above. Marcus Aurelius practiced this to gain perspective in the midst of his overwhelming duties. The exercise is to use your imagination to zoom out from your immediate situation. Picture yourself in your room. Then see your house from above, then your city, your country, the entire planet as a pale blue dot in the vast, silent darkness of space. From this cosmic perspective, see the frantic energy of the world's stock markets, the tiny, agitated squabbles of humanity. From this vantage point, what happens to your financial anxieties, the market's daily fluctuations, the headline that seems so terrifying, the social media post that sparks such envy, they all shrink to their proper size. They become insignificant ripples on the surface of a vast ocean. This meditation is not meant to make you passive, but to grant you emotional distance. It detaches your sense of self from the chaotic, short-term movements of the market. It allows you to see the big picture, the long arc of time, and to act with the perspective that comes from that vision. Now, let us bring this into a practical application. The next time you feel a surge of panic looking at a stock chart that is trending downward, perform this meditation. Zoom out. See the chart not as a measure of your self-worth, but as a tiny data point in a century of economic activity. See yourself not as a victim of the chart, but as an observer of it, calm and detached. This practice cools the hot emotions of fear and greed, allowing the rational part of your mind to take control and make decisions based on your long-term plan, not your short-term panic. The second meditation is the practice of the philosophical diary, a cornerstone of the lives of Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. This is not a record of what you did today, but an examination of your inner world. At the end of each day, take a few moments to have a written conversation with yourself. Untangle the knots of your thoughts. Ask yourself, what financial information disturbed my peace today? Why did it have this power over me? Was the source of my anxiety something I could control, or something I could not? What would a wise and virtuous response have been? This simple practice is a powerful tool for building self-awareness and clarity. It forces you to articulate your vague anxieties, and in doing so, you often rob them of their power. You begin to see patterns in your emotional reactions. You identify the specific triggers that send you into a state of confusion or fear. The journal becomes a mirror, reflecting your own mental habits back at you. It is in this honest self-examination that true clarity begins to dawn. You are no longer a mystery to yourself. You are charting your own mind. This process of journaling separates the signal from the noise. The noise is the external event. The market dropped 2%. The signal is your internal response. I felt fear because I have attached my sense of security to my portfolio's daily value. Once you identify the signal, you can work on it. You can remind yourself of your long-term goals. You can question the belief that your security is tied to daily market performance. The journal allows you to move from being a reactor to being a thoughtful responder, a philosopher of your own life. This is not a one-time fix. It is a daily practice. Marcus Aurelius was not born a sage. He made himself one through these daily reflections. He was actively programming his mind, reinforcing his principles, and preparing for the challenges of the coming day. Your journal is your training ground. It is where you build the mental muscles of calm and clarity. It is where you transform abstract philosophical ideas into your lived daily reality. Over time, you build a body of personal wisdom that becomes your most trusted financial advisor. I want to pause here and ask you to engage in a small act of reflection with me. What is the biggest source of financial noise in your life right now? Is it the 24/7 news cycle, the impossible lifestyles you see on social media, or perhaps the well-meaning but conflicting advice from friends and family? Take a moment to identify it and then share it in the comments below. By naming the source of the chaos, we take the first step in reclaiming our quiet. Your story can also help someone else realize they are not alone in this struggle. The third meditation involves contemplating the 4 cardinal Stoic virtues: wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. These are not abstract ideals. They are a practical framework for decision-making, a moral compass that provides unwavering clarity. Before making any significant financial choice, meditate on how it aligns with these virtues. Wisdom is the practical knowledge to see the right path, to distinguish between a sound investment and a foolish speculation. It is the ability to see things as they are, stripped of the hype and fear. Courage is the second virtue. In finance, this is not the courage of a reckless gambler, but the quiet courage to stick to your rational plan when everyone around you is panicking. It is the courage to buy when others are fearful, and to be disciplined when others are greedy. It is the fortitude to endure the inevitable downturns without abandoning your strategy. This courage is born of clarity. You can only be brave if you are clear on why you are taking a stand and what you are standing for. Temperance, or moderation, is the virtue of self-control. It is the clarity to know the difference between what you need and what you want. Temperance is the power behind your ability to live below your means, to resist impulsive purchases, and to delay gratification in favor of your long-term goals. In a world that screams for you to consume more, temperance is a radical act of rebellion. It is the source of all savings and therefore the bedrock of all wealth building. It is the quiet discipline that makes freedom possible. Finally, there is justice. This virtue reminds you that your wealth is not just for you. It is about using your financial resources in a fair and responsible way. It means dealing honestly in business, providing for your family and community, and using your money as a tool for good in the world. This virtue provides a profound sense of purpose that cuts through the noise of selfish greed. Your financial plan is no longer just about accumulating numbers. It is about building a meaningful life and leaving a positive legacy. This framework of the four virtues provides a powerful filter for any decision. Ask yourself, is this choice wise? Is it courageous? Is it temperate? Is it just? If an action does not align with these virtues, the Stoic path suggests it should be avoided, no matter how profitable it may seem. This provides an anchor of clarity in the turbulent waters of financial decision-making. You are no longer just chasing returns. You are acting in accordance with a clear and noble set of principles. A fourth, and perhaps most startling, Stoic meditation is memento mori. Remember that you must die. The Stoics were not morbid. They were realists. They understood that contemplating our own mortality is the ultimate tool for clarifying our priorities. When you are keenly aware that your time is finite, you are forced to ask the most important questions. What am I spending my precious life energy on? Is this financial worry truly worthy of the irreplaceable hours of my life? This meditation puts all your financial anxieties into their proper context. The fear of a 10% market correction seems rather small when measured against the scale of your entire life. The desire for a luxury item you can't afford seems trivial when you remember that your time with loved ones is limited. Memento mori is the ultimate antidote to getting lost in the weeds of financial minutiae. It forces you to zoom out and focus on what truly constitutes a life well lived. It helps you define the why behind your wealth building. Are you building wealth to buy more stuff you don't need, or are you building it to buy back your time, to have the freedom to pursue your passions, to create security for your family, to have a meaningful impact on the world? When your why is clear and compelling, the how becomes much easier. The daily sacrifices and discipline required to build wealth are no longer chores. They are joyful steps on the path toward a life of purpose. The final meditation we will explore is the cultivation of your inner guide, what the Stoics called the hegemonikon, or the ruling faculty of the mind. This is your core of reason, your inner sage. It is the part of you that is calm, clear, and capable of objective judgment. Most of the time, its voice is drowned out by the louder, more emotional voices of fear, greed, desire, and the opinions of the crowd. The meditation is the practice of learning to listen to this quiet, authoritative voice within. This is done through stillness. It is taking time each day, even just for a few minutes, to sit in silence and simply observe your thoughts without judgment. As you watch them come and go, you begin to realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. This creates a space between stimulus and response. A piece of bad financial news is the stimulus. The emotional panic is the typical response. By creating space, you give your inner guide, your hegemonicon, the opportunity to step in and offer a rational, considered response instead. You learn to trust this inner voice above all others. It is your personal source of truth, immune to the hype and hysteria of the external world. When the pundits are screaming, you consult your inner guide. When social media is showing you a fantasy, you consult your inner guide. This is the ultimate form of financial sovereignty. You're no longer seeking answers from the chaos outside. You're drawing them from the well of clarity within. You have found your own true north. Let us now imagine the person who has been practicing these meditations. The financial drifter has found his compass. He is no longer adrift. He is a skilled navigator. The storm of financial information still rages around him, but it no longer affects him in the same way. The noise is still there, but he has learned to tune it out. He has built a sanctuary of inner silence, a state of calm from which he can observe the world with serene detachment. He sees a sensational headline about the economy, and instead of feeling a jolt of anxiety, he feels a sense of curiosity. He is able to look at it objectively without the emotional charge. He applies his Stoic filter. Is this within my control? What is a virtuous response? The headline loses its power to disturb his peace. It is just data to be analyzed calmly and rationally, not a personal threat to his well-being. He has mastered his impressions. He scrolls through social media and sees the ostentatious displays of wealth. Where he once felt envy, he now feels a sense of mild compassion. He sees not freedom, but a form of bondage, a desperate need for external validation. He is genuinely happy with his own simple, purposeful life. His clarity on his own values makes him immune to the siren song of comparison. He knows what true wealth is, and it cannot be photographed and posted online. His actions in the market are now deliberate and almost boringly consistent. He follows his simple, well-defined plan with unwavering discipline. He contributes to his investments on a regular schedule. Regardless of what the market is doing, he is playing a different game now. He is not trying to beat the market. He is trying to execute his plan flawlessly. He has shifted his focus from the uncontrollable outcome to the controllable process, and in this, he finds a profound sense of peace and empowerment. His conversations about money have changed. He no longer engages in speculative gossip about the next hot stock. He speaks with a quiet confidence about principles, about long-term strategy, about the importance of emotional discipline. He has become a source of calm and clarity for those around him, a steady presence in a world of financial anxiety. He is not preachy. He simply embodies the quiet strength that comes from a clear and untroubled mind. He has redefined wealth for himself. It is no longer a number in his bank account, although that number is likely growing more steadily than ever before. True wealth, he has discovered, is this state of inner calm. It is the clarity of mind to make wise decisions. It is the freedom from the emotional roller coaster of fear and greed. It is the ability to enjoy his life right now, without his happiness being contingent on some future financial milestone. This is the peace that money cannot buy, but that a sound philosophy can provide. This state of calm and clarity is your birthright. It is the natural state of a mind that is not polluted by the noise of the modern world. The Stoic meditations are simply the tools to clean the lens of your perception so you can see clearly once again. The path is there for you to walk. It requires no special knowledge, only a sincere commitment to the daily practice of self-reflection and the application of timeless principles. The power to silence the chaos is, and always has been, within you. Your journey to clarity starts with the next decision you make. It begins when you choose to turn off the financial news and read a chapter from Marcus Aurelius instead. It begins when you choose to unfollow the social media accounts that make you feel envious and inadequate. It begins when you take 10 minutes at the end of your day to sit with a journal and untangle your thoughts. These small, deliberate choices, compounded over time, are what build a life of serene and prosperous clarity. Thank you for allowing us to be your guide on this first step. The path from chaos to clarity is a continuous journey, one that requires daily reinforcement. If you found value in this message, please subscribe to our channel and like this video to help it spread. We release new videos daily designed to serve as your regular meditation, your daily dose of calm and clarity in the financial storm. Remember, you do not have to be a product of the noise. You can choose to be a creator of your own quiet,